Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
We can't allow any further delay.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fox 12 Weather Podcast, episode 163. I am joined by meteorologist Camilla Ortiz. Good morning.
Good morning.
And our chief in crime, Fox 12 chief meteorologist, Mark Nelson. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, ladies. Do you like my new location? We're out of the bedroom.
That's
Oh.
nice.
Oh, wait. Maybe I was out of the bedroom last week, too. Or
I
2
wasn't
weeks
with
ago.
you last week, so I didn't
Yeah.
get to see that.
Camilla's new
Do you
fridge
like-
is back there. We're bringing it
Oh,
today.
yeah, now I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
About 3 feet tall. I got to get that into my
Perfect.
car.
Yeah, that's going to go in my garage.
That's my side hustle. Some
Very
marketplace,
nice.
marketplace action.
Well, I realized that I already made one big blunder today.
Uh-oh.
I didn't bring our lunch weather team photo.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, shoot. That's okay.
We know what we look like. We look good.
But it's one of those things. It was like the golden pony, the unicorn, the eclipse that never happens. Is all six of us were together
Mm-hmm.
for lunch. It was so
Everybody.
much
Yeah,
fun.
I submitted the bill. So just so you know, our expense report, it
Mark
goes
was
through
all nervous about it last night when he was doing it. I'm like, what's the problem?
Who ordered the $36 steak frites? Is that what they're called?
Steak frites.
Yeah, I
Steak
was
frites? Yeah, but you can get 2 meals out of that off the boss on this one, huh? So yeah, so I submitted it. It goes through several levels. Like it goes up through the corporate world, and it made it through the first level. So it's kind of like Donkey Kong or something. You know, which level are we going to make it up to before it gets denied and I have to pay for it? We'll find out.
Mark asked for the check, and then I was like, whoa. We got to get dessert. So then we also got dessert. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be okay. It was good, good stuff. We discussed many important things on that lunch.
The chocolate mousse cake that I got was
good.
incredible.
Yeah,
Peyton shared hers at work. That was really good.
that was good.
It was really good. It made my son think, maybe I need mousse for my birthday next month.
Maybe
So,
chocolate.
yes, it was so good. Okay, well, let's get right into this. We want to start off here. We're going to talk about November so far. Started off like a lion. I think it's going out like a lamb. And then we're going to look at what's ahead for the rest of this month. I think Mark even have in some early December stuff in there. I think I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Bring you back to Katie's Climate Corner. And of course, we have your viewer photos for you to take a look at. So let's start off with November so far. So I updated it this morning. I wanted to give us the most updated numbers that we can this morning. So the rain that came in last night, you can see that 500ths of an inch. And then this morning, so since midnight in the metro area, we got another 1300ths of an inch. That was all probably by like 5 o'clock. Or 6 o'clock at the
So models were good.
latest.
Models
Yeah,
were good showing
less than a quarter inch. Yeah.
Very good. But the metro had the most out of anybody else
No.
that I saw. It was only a few hundredths in other places. So we're at just a little more than 3 inches for the month, which is actually below where we would be on average, which is 3.30. That's average by so far. And last year at this time, we had 4.10, so 4 1/10 of an inch by this date.
Mm-hmm.
A whole inch less than
You know,
what we
in
had.
the rain's defense, in the precipitation defense column, I will say there were some spots with a quarter to a third of an inch east, like East Portland and Gresham 0.37. So there were some spots that got a nice little soaking. But yeah, west side 800ths at Hillsborough. So yeah, pretty weak west metro. A little juicier east metro. I had a quarter inch. Not that it's
Yeah.
about me, but just so kind of a variety. But light stuff in general. You're right.
Very, very light. And then here it is compared to the last few years. Our wettest year that we have on this specific graphic is 2017 at just a little less than 6.5 inches. The next one would be 2021 at 6.43, and then last year at 6.32. Everything else, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, and so far this year, all below that average. But there's a couple that came close. 2020 and 2023 both had about 5.25. So
Close enough.
not too far off. Yeah, from 5.45 is our average. So they weren't too far off. And then for the month, look how warm our highs have been, we have 3 days of the entire month that were below average, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 18th. With actually Tuesday, is that the coldest? That is the coldest day we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Chilly day.
Barely made it. Yeah, barely made it to 50. I think that morning, was that our coldest morning at 37?
36. I think we had 2 36s.
Yeah, so
Oops,
so pretty.
you're right. I think it was 37 and 36.
I think once it
yeah.
they did their little magic.
And then yesterday, so we had a 56 with that east wind. Hopefully, I'm not treading on any future graphic here. But yesterday, we had that easterly wind mixed us out, so we got into the mid 50s. But then Salem, 42 degrees.
Yeah.
So, and we'll talk about the inversion coming up later. But so not everybody was warm yesterday. And by the way, 56 is now warm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Got that?
Well, and we knew in the morning, by the time we were in the 10, it was already 52, I think.
Oh, the east wind
And
showed
so-
up nicely.
Warmed up
Yep,
fast.
and so before the noon for sure, Drew went in and quickly updated things and upped our temperatures for the day because we already had exceeded what we said was pretty much going to be.
That's always fun to do. An overnight low in the winter when it's like 10 p.m. and you're going 15 degrees for Burns and it's already 1 degree. It's like, oh, better lower that one. That happens in the
Yeah.
evenings.
Yes, it is. So then for the last couple of weeks, looking at the lows, and this was when I did this morning. This isn't that 46 for today. It could have been a little lower than that. We know how that goes. But 3 days in a row in those mid 30s and a little warmer than that. So 37, 37, and 36. So that would make Wednesday the coldest morning we have had so far this season. But look how warm Thursday through Sunday were all in the low 50s.
Yeah, really mild. It's like we weren't even using our heat for days, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Well, and just to put into perspective, that's our average high right now.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, you're
that
right.
50s.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our lows for the day were quite warm. So the latest first frost, so low temperatures at or below 32, Hillsborough Airport this year took number 2 spot, November 19th. And the number 1 spot was December 5th back in 2016, which we have information on that coming up. Spoiler alert, that was a cold December, January, February. And November 15th, 2024, so the last couple of years, they've been in November up. The same thing with 2014. So this year took the 2nd spot for the latest frost, and we still haven't had that in the metro yet. But it's, I think, the 16th, November 16th, isn't that the average in the metro for
In Portland,
frost?
it is for the city.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the airport.
Yeah.
I think the city is more like December 1st or something. Like if you're sitting in the Pearl, wondering when your tomato will freeze on your 15th floor balcony, some winters that's just going to happen once when we get a freeze.
Yeah. Well, good morning, Derek. I'm looking at our chat that's coming through. We just got a little good morning from Derek there. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to say, just go ahead and pop that in, and we'll do our best to either answer or get back to you at some point because we love to hear from you guys as we work through our podcast. Okay, now we're looking at November 18th, snow depth. Last year was a doozy. We had 47
A doozy,
inches.
that was a good doozy.
A good doozy.
It was great.
Good doozy.
Now, this is not in Portland. Let's make that clear. This is the bottom
Yes.
of the Poochie lifted timberline.
At 5,400 feet.
4 feet of snow on the ground. And this year,
Amazing.
Well, I would say we
Where's
had
my pass?
a dusting this morning.
Yeah.
a little bit.
up
Yeah,
there.
that was it.
We
Yeah.
saw last night, like during the 11, you could see there's some kind of pathetic little flakes coming down from our ski boat
Wow,
camera.
how exciting.
We actually saw them falling. We saw the flakes falling. They were on the ski bowl camera
It
this
happened.
morning.
Takes
We could see
video
them.
happen.
Yeah,
All right.
I did. I took one. So that's kind of been the November so far. I would say, again, as far as rain, in like a lion, kind of being a little lambish, warm, very, very warm, moving into average for this next week. So then, Mark, you want to take it away?
Okay.
I'll drive, but you run
The big
ship.
4. Katie's driving. I'm going to be backseat driving here. So, we're always looking for the big 4 events in the cool season west of the Cascades. This doesn't really apply east of the Cascades. Are we going to get lowland snow? That's what everybody cares about. Arctic blast from now through, late February. We can have an Arctic blast mid-February. Windstorm. Those can happen even in early April, or widespread flooding. So those are the 4 biggies in the wintertime. We don't see anything below 3,000 feet coming up, at least as of now. Now, I've got this through Black Friday. That's 10 days, 9 days out, I guess. Arctic blast, we don't see that. I mean, it may get chillier, maybe. That's a big question mark. We sure don't see any windstorms as of now. And we've got to have above normal rainfall, and we sure don't see that coming up. So clearly there's not going to be any. flooding. What's next, Katie? Okay, so this is just so we're gonna jump ahead. Okay, so we have nothing from before this time. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're only going to talk about what's happening in December, folks, because I can tell you we have that over the next week, we're just going to see kind of a westerly flow. But what I did here, just the first week of December. So basically, this is right after the holiday weekend. All right. Days 11 through 16. This is the GFS ensemble average. Notice what's going on there. There's ridging, seems to be along or just west of the west coast, and upper level troughing, cooler than average heights over the middle of the country. So this pattern, if you just take this at face value, a 5-day average from this model, you go, oh, it's probably going to feel pretty wintry in the central and the eastern part of the USA, but kind of quiet in the west. Okay, let's go to the next one. I think I have 3 models or 2 models here. Euro, same period. So this would be Saturday afternoon of holiday weekend through the next Thursday. It's generally the same, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have one more? Yes, and then this is the Canadian. Generally the same, although the Canadian's a little farther west. Now, this is what becomes critical when we get into the cold season, which is December, January, February. If that ridge on average moves any farther west, remember, this is not a static map for a certain day. If I was just looking at this as a static map for one day, I'd say, oh, it's probably dry here and about average temps, probably fog in the valleys, depending on how much east wind we get. But then, could you back up one? No, maybe one more. Okay, never mind. That was the best one. Okay. So if the ridge is right over us, we got dead weather. But remember, this is an average of 5 days. So there are hints, and I noticed if you look at this morning's Euro, we don't have it here. Clearly, some upper level troughs could try to cut around the backside of that ridge. Yeah, that one. If a trough tries to cut down the backside of that ridge, comes right down the coastline, suddenly we could be into cold air or some sort of mixed rain, snow, freezing rain coming out of the gorge. Something like that could easily happen. Right now, we don't see that. There's no models averages that are showing like, hey, this is going to happen. But it's something to keep an eye on. But as of now, if the ridge stays in that position through this first week of December, it should be relatively quiet. But something could sneak in. Was it December of 2022? Or the Christmas where we had in the days leading up to it, where we suddenly had an ice storm, cold air went into the middle of the country, but then we were at the edge of it, and the airport closed down like the 23rd and 24th. Was that 2021 or 2022? It was one of those two. The one where Andy Carson had to drive with his son all the way from here to Phoenix because the airport, everything was a mess.
Yeah.
And so what happened that year? Yeah, we had the ridging kind of close during that most of December, and then suddenly it backed up just slightly, and the cold air came in from the northeast. So that can happen, and I'd sure be watching for that in this first part of December. So you can see, if you look at just this, a GFS ensemble average of rainfall. I got the 2 weekends highlighted there. Clearly it's dry, pretty much dry now until we get to Sunday. I did notice models are speeding up have sped up the timing of the Sunday rain, right? It looks like it might just be a wet day. Yeah.
It looked like that this morning, like it was moving a little closer.
Yeah, so make a minor adjustment. Luckily, let's go back to that one. Expectations are extremely low. In the last. No, it's not the last weekend, but the weekend before Thanksgiving, nobody has high expectations for great outdoor weather. It's not like April where we had to back off a sunny Sunday. But if you go forward in time here, you just kind of see there are more gaps in the rain. You notice as we get further out in time, so that could imply the ridging a little closer, more opportunities for dry weather in there. What's the next one? I forget what else I threw in here. And this is just the precip anomaly. On the left is the GFS ensemble anomaly for the 7 days. So that would be that first week of December. And then on the right side is the European AI model. And it's got the full 15-day. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's full 15-day anomaly. So this is clearly drier than average. This doesn't mean dry during the next 15 days, obviously. But it's going to be drier than average if that ridge is cozied up against the coastline more than 50% of the time. We just don't get big storms coming in from the west. But again, something could slip through the east side of the ridge, drop in, and suddenly we're in business. Do I have one more in there? I forget. I didn't even, I did not put in, I was going to put in the snow chance there for the 24-hour snow. It was really weak, almost nothing. Yeah. Well, just, something could surprise us within a 7-day period, but I just don't see it right now. And there's our 7-day. That's your fresh 7-day, Katie, this morning.
Well, and I didn't update the timing on the rain just yet because I was going to leave that for you guys tonight.
You didn't want a model ride. That's what they call model riding. Look at one model and change it. I've done that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Only if it matches my preconceived ideas about what the forecast should be. Yeah. So, if you just look at the 7-day forecast, it's pretty clear we're going to be dry Friday, Saturday. Saturday's the dry day of the weekend. The big question, will we get fog stuck in the valleys or low clouds? Models tend to mix out the low clouds and the fog too quickly. If there's generally, once we get into late November and December and January, if there's no east wind and we have wet ground and it's clear at night and the valley fogs up and it warms up overhead, which I think is occurring, then we generally have trouble getting the fog out of the valleys during the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my phone's too close.
I was wondering.
Somebody's
I actually moved mine thinking that was me.
Yeah, somebody's got a phone too close to the mic. But get out of here. Okay, so that's it. So that's what's up.
Oh, you had this one you put in.
Oh, somebody else put that in, but we can talk. Camilla, did you make this one?
No,
Or did
I think you did, or Peyton did, maybe. I used it, though.
We've got 3 of us there in the evening, folks, and there's so many graphics just flying around that we don't even know who made the graphic.
Yeah,
we're thinking big picture. Yeah, we think the Thanksgiving weekend is probably uneventful unless something sneaks in at the end.
Yeah, certainly leading up to Thanksgiving. Obviously, the 7-day right now goes through Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Definitely don't see anything stormy. So if you're hitting the road to get to your destination by Thanksgiving, looks like you're going to be in good shape. Even through the mountains, we don't see, any mountain snow. Definitely no lowland snow or cold air. So yeah, I mean, very uneventful, which is great for travelers.
All right.
Yes. All right. It is time. So this is what I spent most of my morning working on because I gave the team an option to pick what my climate corner would be about today. And they wanted me to talk about, does a warm November equal a warm winter? And I'm doing the Oregon edition of that.
Nice.
So what I have here is just the average winds at 300 millibars for December through February, and then in a La Nina year and in an El Nino year. So it shows you the different wind patterns as you're going through the different times of the year and the wind speeds with that. So the answer to the question, I'm not going to bury my lead. The bottom line, the short answer is no. It does not. So that to warm November, which we've had, does not mean it's going to be a warm December. And Mark, please chime in here.
No, I agree.
Okay.
We've seen that a lot of times. November, what I kind of joked about what happens in November stays in November often.
Yes, yes. So warm November doesn't reliably predict what winter will do. Fall patterns are different than the ones that control December through February. So the bottom line is November is still a transition month. Winter depends more on bigger climate drivers like the jet stream shifts, El Nino, La Nina, the Arctic, and the North Arctic Oscillation. So these can flip that pattern quickly. Now, I should have, but I was very busy today with technical stuff. Are we still trending toward a weak La Nina? Do you know, Mark? Have you checked that recently?
Yeah, it's still. In fact, it is in La Nina. It's like the SOI is like minus 0.6, 0.7.
Okay.
Somewhere there.
Okay. So for my facts to back up, because I am a journalist as well as a meteorologist, November of 2016. So Portland averaged around 52 degrees. It's a mild November. It was not exceptionally cold, and it was not an early start to winter. So I pulled out the climatological data for that, and I highlighted here the average for the month, 52.3. The precipitation, we had 6.83. So I know we still have more months to go, but we had 3 inches more than what we have right now.
Look at the anomaly. Look at the temperature anomaly, plus 5.2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, early on, especially all those warm days.
Yeah. So look at that. If you can't watch,
wow.
Just listening. November 4th, it hit 69.
Wow.
It almost hit 70, and then a couple days later, on the 8th, it's 68. Like we had some pretty high, and then another one 2 days later. Like it was very warm, and I'm trying to see. I don't think we hit. Yeah, we didn't hit the 40s until around Thanksgiving.
And the coldest low was 39 the whole month.
That was it?
Yeah,
really warm month. And then what happened after?
Then, dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I didn't want to do all of the graphics for these, but I do have other data for you. But what I have is for December, the average was 37. And the normal average is 41, so much colder. It wasn't as wet. We had 6 inches of precipitation, 7 inches is average. Then in January, the average temperature was 34.6. Normal is 42. And it was a little drier, 5.5 inches compared to 6.25. And then in February, it leveled out temperature-wise a little. It was almost 42, 41.6 average, 44 normal. but the precipitation was 12 inches as opposed to the 4 3/4. So the fun fact about the winter of 2016-2017 is Portland recorded one of its 5 coldest winters on record. So December through January,
Right.
there were multiple snow and ice events, including the January major storm, which I still have vivid memories of everything and how every bit of my life happened during that one in January.
Oh, so do
And
I.
yes, and so I brought, just for fun, the official National Weather Service recap that I wanted to share.
Sure,
real
go
quick.
for it.
So,
Yeah.
okay, it was
sure.
a chilly January with highs through the 15th, often struggling to reach 32 degrees thanks to moderate east winds. Snow fell on the first day, about 4 to 7 inches, falling across far east side of Portland, Oregon City, and areas eastward, but little, if any, snow fell elsewhere. A stronger storm arrived on the 7th through the 8th with snow and freezing rain, from 1 to 4 inches of snow that fell, and then it gave some ice accumulation, freezing rain. Many abandoned vehicles on highways, and more than 280 flights were canceled at Portland International Airport. More light freezing rain later on the 8th through the 9th. Another front brought thunderstorms that produced heavy snow during the evening of the 10th and 11th. Many areas from Hillsborough across the east, Portland north into Clark County picked up 8 to 13 inches of snow.
I remember. I was there.
Yesterday. Local accumulations up to 16 inches in the West Hills across North Portland into Vancouver. The heavy accumulation brought down power lines, closed roads, roofs, and Hillsborough warehouse collapsed from the weight of the wet, heavy snow. A significant ice storm struck the region on the 16th through the 17th. Accumulation of about a half inch, about a quarter to half inch was common, and 5 to an inch of ice accumulation eastward, about 10 miles either side of the Columbia River. Again, power was out for many people. Areas inside the Columbia River Gorge received up to 2 inches of ice.
I just checked my record. Yeah, the 17th and 18th, 1.5 inches of freezing rain.
Yep.
And there had been 1.25 inches on the 8th of December as well. I had several ice storms up here.
Yep.
Wow.
And then in February, strong east gusts 50 to 55 from the 1st and the 2nd, with cold temperatures, and rain arrived on the 3rd. It resulted in a round of icy roads up to a third of an inch across the metro. Most of the freezing rain fell in early hours of the 3rd. And there are many traffic accidents, including 50-car pileup on I-5 near Capitol Highway. The warmer returned the 4th, 5th, but also came a lot of rain. 2.19 inches, making it the wettest single day of February ever, surpassing the previous record of 2.16 set on February 6th of 1996. Just what a January and February after such a warm, mild November.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the winter, along with 92, 93, the only two when I've been in my career here, where it just kind of kept coming back. Yes, we had the huge snow in 08, but that was kind of a 2-week event, and that was it.
Yeah.
This is where one of those winters where it just kept coming back. The kind of the uniting factor there is when you get snow cover east of the Cascades, and it's pretty thick over there, pretty deep, and then the weather pattern doesn't allow the cold air to scour out east of the Cascades. You keep getting the east wind coming back across through the gorge over the Cascades. So
I may have missed this too. Was that winter also a weak La Nina?
Yeah, well, it certainly was, because if you look right here, winter 16-17 was a weak La Nina, which is what we're going into, or are into right now.
I still remember that night, it was 12. It was December 14th. That was when kids were stuck on the school buses till midnight and had to be sent back to schools. It was just a huge traffic fiasco. That was not actually the forecaster's fault. That night, that was the day I think that we said, hey, snow's going to show up, early to mid-afternoon, and schools tried to let out early, I think, and kind of waited. Some of them waited till the snowflakes were flying, and then it was too late because everybody hit the road. I remember I had said, be home by 2. And we didn't have a massive amount of snow, maybe 3 or 4 inches, but yeah, that was terrible. And I remember Brian McMillan, who used to work with us, the chief up at Fox 13 in Seattle, he goes, Mark, remember this day, 12/14/16. So I never forget that date. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's my old man story.
I was in Beaverton when the flakes started falling. My husband was actually having eye surgery. And I was like, is he almost done? Is he almost done? Like, we need to get home. And so we lived in Happy Valley at the time. And I literally, my poor husband, who could not see, I literally like threw them on the couch and jumped in the car and ran and picked up my kids from school and got home just as like everything was starting to go in a handbasket.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I got home just before all the slip sliding and everything just went to a handbasket. It was crazy. So the takeaway for this, Katie's Climate Corner today, is a warm November does not equal a warm winter.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
We will see.
Number of the week, Mark.
That's
This one's for you.
inversions. I noticed yesterday was the first day where we could see a temperature inversion. And what we're referring to, of course, we pull out the EMS glossary of meteorology. It's a layer in which the temperature increases with altitude. We ran this as term of the week back in January. Surprise, I wonder why. We only talk about this really typically for our cool season weather. It's a very stable layer. There's very little exchange between that layer and the layer above typically. Sometimes there's a strong wind shear. We've seen that in the gorge when we get warm air in the winter, but a strong east wind blowing through the gorge. It could be warm and calm. Let's say you went above Troutdale, 3,000 feet above Troutdale, warm, calm, like 50 degrees. But it might be 35 and easterlies averaging 50 miles per hour in the lowest 1,500 feet. So there can be quite a wind shear there. So there you go. So that's what we call a temperature inversion. We noticed it yesterday. Yesterday, Salem was 42. Yet Detroit Lake was 55. So it wasn't a perfect inversion. I think we have a much better view of an inversion last January. What's next here, Katie? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Nice. Oh, this graphic, yes. So in a model atmosphere, if everything's perfect, temperatures are going to fall with height up to about the 30,000 feet. So about 3.6 degrees per 1,000 feet. So in a well-mixed atmosphere, start at the top. At Timberline, if it's 50, should be about 57 at Government Camp and about 72 in Portland. So on an average summer day at Timberline, it's going to be maybe in the 60s when we're like 85, 90 degrees. It is interesting. The atmosphere does have different layers there, like a cake. And once you get high up, it does get quite warm in the atmosphere, closer to space there. So yes, we cool down. But here's an example. Salem sounding last January, we had a sharp inversion. Oh, no, I'm sorry. First, it was a day after some cool air had come through. It's 25 at Timberline. Snow level is about 2,500 feet, so it's 31 at Government Camp and 47 at Portland, right? So day in the 40s, typical January day. Snow showers are sticking down to 2,000 to 3,000 feet. But then I believe this is a few days later. Yeah, 3 days later, look how it has warmed up. Mm-hmm. Timberline is 50. Government Camp is 51. Portland's 48 because we had some easterly wind mixing out the real cool air. But Salem was only 40. So you see the sharp inversion on the sounding there. As you went up on the Salem balloon, you go up in the afternoon. It was as cool as 34 degrees at 1,600 feet. And then you see that's the bottom base of the inversion. And then you see how it jumps up to around 60 at 3,000 feet. Mm-hmm. That is a very sharp wintertime inversion. Then I think we have a picture here, a satellite picture, right? Yeah, and I believe this was the same day or within a day or so. And you can see how the cool air, the moisture is trapped there. As we know, the ground is wet, surprise, in wintertime in the valleys. And so we tend to get that stuck in the valleys. Notice the coast does not get stuck in long periods of fog and low clouds in the winter. So it's really about being trapped in the basin here, the Willamette Valley, Puget Sound lowlands up there. And then you can see in this case, I guess there was very weak easterly flow out of the gorge, just clearing like about a quarter of the metro area out near the gorge. So those people could sit there and say, haha, it's sunny, and everybody else is stuck in the gray. So we're going to see this as we go through the winter time. The inversion really kicks in this time of the year. And it's driven by, in this case, it starts about this time of the year. Anytime we have high pressure overhead, we have very weak sunshine. That's a problem. You know, the sun is just getting too weak and the days are too short. The sun can't heat the ground enough to warm up the ground. Okay, once we hit mid-February, we might get fog in the mornings, yes, in the valley, but the sun is getting strong enough in mid to late February to just break out of it. The ground warms up and the air mixes up. But what is that? About 3 months, 2.5 months here where it's pretty solid when we have high pressure overhead.
And notice you didn't say burn off because fog does not burn off.
Nice. Well played.
Did you have the teacher
water vapor
who
doesn't
would,
burn?
Huh?
Water
did you
vapor.
have the
go ahead.
You go first, Mark.
No, water vapor doesn't burn. What?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No. Yeah, it mixes, like you said. That's perfect.
Did you have that teacher that would like fail you if you said the fog's burning off?
I mean, no, but there were definitely a number of professors that were like, please don't ever say burn off. It's not accurate.
I heard I had one of the professors I had, I don't know if he's still there or not, but he would say, if I'm watching the news and I hear a meteorologist say the fog is going to burn off, he goes, I shut the TV off. They've lost all credibility to me
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
say that word. So, I mean,
You still hear it. You do hear it. It gets thrown around for sure.
yeah.
This is
Well,
pretty. Ooh, we've got some sunset shots. So we're, of course, into our viewer photo section now. This is really pretty. Look at those clouds. Those are really
Nice.
cool.
What is it, like 2 p.m.? The sun is setting?
Literally,
time of year?
right? That's
Yeah.
what it feels like. Oh my gosh. 4 p.m. It's
It
already
is funny.
like dark almost.
This time of year, like on a day where we have sunshine, I don't think about it. Let's say I have a day off. It's like, oh, it's a great day, sunny. And, I'm out. I might be doing 11, 12, 1. But already by 2:30, you're like, oh, wait, it ain't going to be light till 7 p.m. You see the sun getting low, like, what? And then you
Yeah.
remember, oh, yeah, it's not going to last long.
Yeah. So some really pretty colors. Oh,
Mm.
yeah, we had some good northern lights. When was
Last
this?
week.
This
Was
was
it
the
last
12th.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
I was
Wednesday?
gone.
12th.
Yeah, Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, right in there.
So Eric got a great shot. Did he also get a little meteor?
I think so. And I think he had mentioned that this is out in the Wallowa Whitman National Forest, so they drove all the way out to Northeast Oregon. That's like a
Wow.
6-hour drive.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was worth
just to
it.
avoid the clouds. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that was
that's
something else.
Beautiful.
We would have had a heck
Oh.
of a display if we wouldn't have had the clouds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
we were
happens.
here, and my husband asked me, he's like, if we were home, would we be able to see it? And I said, nope, we're not missing
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Nope, not at all.
Is this
That's
pretty?
beautiful.
Mount Hood. Is this sunrise? Sunset?
Oh, it looks like
I'm
later
gonna
in
go
the
for
day.
rise.
I'd say
Is that-
set, because we're
Set?
looking at it from this is from the Portland side, and
Oh,
the sun
okay.
is behind us. Or it's at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
in the
yeah.
second half of the day, let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe not sunset.
I'm
Mm.
thinking the camera, when I see it on that side, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Some
Yeah,
pretty
so-
pinks there on Mount Hood. Thank you, Christian, for this picture.
And I just checked the camera there at Timberline, like the Jeff Flood Express there, and it's like Katie said, it's just a dusting or an inch,
Mm.
an inch,
Mhm.
2 inches max up there at Timberline, as opposed to
Yeah.
the 4
Yeah.
feet or so we had this time last year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
We'll
it's going to
see.
be after Thanksgiving for sure before people can
I don't see.
even
yeah,
think about skiing.
the ski areas will try. I know Meadows likes to do they could try if
they
we
just
get
make snow.
we get enough money. I haven't looked at the maps yet this morning because we're just getting into our workday. But if there were 10 inches on Monday, somehow seems unlikely,
Mm.
and then Wednesday or Thursday we get 5 or 7 inches, and then something hits Friday night. At the best, maybe a preview day on Sunday of like one, the bunny lift and maybe one other, try to open up and put just enough snow in those spots. But yeah, I don't see a real opening Thanksgiving weekend. I think that's pretty unlikely.
That's
But
I heard some
it
talking
happens.
in the newsroom that,
Oh,
if we don't have any snow on Thanksgiving, then that's a bad sign. And I just,
you mean was it
It's not
somebody
a
new?
sign.
Did they mean in the valleys, like from
no,
Portland?
no, if we don't have any snow up on the mountain by Thanksgiving, like they say,
Oh.
they say if there's snow for Thanksgiving, then it's a good sign for the winter skiing. And
They-
I just
Means
my mouth shut and
nothing. Yeah.
walked
They,
right on
who
by.
is they? Let's not get into that.
Yes.
It's like, I got a podcast to record. I can't answer this question right or
We don't have time for that
address that.
silliness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's about it. Just want to reiterate, if you have any pictures or videos, please get that Fox 12 Weather app or just the Fox News app. We love them. I've been using them quite a bit in the mornings. There have been some incredible dog pictures for our dog walk forecast. Those have been so fun lately. So we really appreciate that, especially holiday ones as you're dressing up your furry friends. We love to see those, or how you guys are enjoying the outdoors or not enjoying the outdoors, all that kind of stuff. Those are absolutely great. So feel free to give us those pictures and videos. We really love them. Other than that, we hope you guys have a great week. And Mark, are we going to do one during Thanksgiving?
Actually, we are taking next week off because
Okay.
some of us have time off.
Yeah,
So we're going to skip 1 week and then we'll be back the week after. So I'm sure at that time we will have. At that time, we're probably going to have a major snowstorm on the way, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, in
Speaking
fact,
of,
yeah.
Yeah.
good question by Derek here. How far can we start seeing hints of some snow or ice coming?
We can see hints 10 days ahead of time if the pattern's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, I mean, yeah, I remember the big freeze in 08 that came, that led to the 2 weeks of snow and ice. That one we saw a full week or so ahead of time. We could see the pattern change. We can't, the problem is, okay, will moisture interact a certain way and give us snow or ice? No, we can't see that. But we can see, we think some cold air is coming. We're not sure how it's going to play out. 2024, a year and a half ago, that big freeze, we saw that 9 or 10 days ahead of time. We can see the general, and in general, big picture, yes, we can see if something's probably about to change. So about 10 days out, I think, is a good guess.
I think it's time to break out that graphic where we show our timelines, like what we do in each one of those timelines. I think we need to break that out because I've been getting a lot of questions.
I was going to say the problem nowadays is we're going to be pushed by all the online annoying people that are just posting 2-week out snow maps. That's going to happen. It hasn't happened too much here yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen. Or people from out of our area that are going to say, big freeze coming in 12 days, 10 to 12 days. And normally we wouldn't have mentioned it that far ahead of time, but that's going to kind of drag us kicking and screaming into talking about it ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, I can just tell you the questions have already started for me. So,
you have questions, or you mean people have asked you?
People have been asking me already.
Did they see something online? Or are you saying what?
They've been messaging me online. Hey, are we going to see anything by Christmas? When are we going to see it? I'm like,
that's normal. That's pre-internet.
Yeah.
Is it going to snow for Christmas? It's like, no, we have no idea. I mean, just yesterday, the guy that checks me, that didn't do the checkout thing at Fred Meyer, he wanted to know, are we going to get snow this winter? That's what everybody wants to know. And I say, nope, don't know.
Catch me.
Oh, we were running stuff about, parts of the U.S., going to be seeing this polar vortex coming up in December. That ran into some shows yesterday. And I was like, just to reiterate, really beyond like 7 to 10 days, we don't know what's going to happen. So
you really slapped Anna down, didn't you?
It's like, just remember
nicest person in the world.
Yeah. Okay, I think we could keep going on forever, so we'll go ahead and end it here. Yeah, thank you folks so much for joining us. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you that first week of December. Bye.
See you later.